Cool. Hey guys, good to meet you.
Hi.
Shane, again. Chris, nice to meet you. So yeah, thank you for giving me a call. Thank you for choosing me to be the celebrant for both your guys' beautiful day. I'm sure from what you've told me already, it's going to be fantastic. How did you go with the venue? Were you able to secure a date for what you wanted?
Yeah, we the date we originally were looking a bit earlier in the year, and so the venue that we found, I'd actually put in our dumpster pile because they weren't available.
Yeah.
And then we kind of realised we're going to push our date out a bit, and we spoke to the venue, and they had the dates available in like October, so picked a random date in October and.
Cool. And that was what we spoke about on the phone anyway, and at the time I told you I was available, so I still am, which is great. So that week is booked out for you guys now.
Perfect.
Like I said, it's still, there's no money taken over yet, but I mean, we're still having this chat just so I can go through just the next step for you guys really, which is the nomination of intent to marry. Just going through stuff like the marriage certificate, which we'll speak about too, and then to come with other legal type things that I need to do. That's just a duty of care as your celebrant as well. So we'll talk about those things. But once again, it's also very fresh. I know it's probably a bit scary thinking about the certificate of marriage and writing stuff down and putting your name to paper is like this is actually happening now, even though it is, a year down the track technically, it's still far away, but a lot of the blokes start running at this point. So, hold on nice and tight. I'm sure it'll be alright. It's not scary. Like it is what it is, On the day, it'll fly. This is all the kind of pre-app stuff that you need to do legally. And the more you know about this kind of stuff now, I guess, the smoother the day will run. Yeah. The less things you got to worry about, things that you might have questions about, you can ask now rather than worry about down the track. So the day will run smoothly. This is the nitty gritty, not really anything to worry about. But any questions along the way during what I'm talking about, or whether it's related directly to my service as a celebrant or not, or to something that you guys have questions about, just butt in, because I do start to ramble. So anything like, anything worried that you might be about your wedding, so anything to do with catering or getting something to do with music or anything like that. Obviously, I've done a few of these before, so I have some contacts in certain areas. I know you've chosen to go down south in Nowra. I've done a few weddings down there. So if something goes wrong on the day, or the people that you've chosen to be there can't make it, I do have some contacts. The sooner I know, the better, obviously.
Excellent.
But how those things go anyway? You found the catering and stuff, found the music guys?
Yeah, we catering, there was quite a few that we found, and they're all very similar in pricing.
Mm-hmm.
We went and had a taste testing with one of them, and pretty much that just secured it for us.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's interesting sitting down with a bunch of other couples.
Of course, yeah, they do all of that. Yeah.
You obviously, they're obviously not on the same day as you, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to.
Also went to the venue to do it.
The tasting did a. They did a tasting at their property.
Big balcony set up at their house.
Which was it was across the river from pretty much where we are.
Yeah.
For the wedding, so they just do like a couple of open tastings, so everyone just who's already booked come down and try the food.
Oh, cool.
So they put on like a grazing table, and they did like the shared plates. So they did shared entrees, shared mains. And so it was interesting talking to all the other couples as well, where they're getting married, all that sort of stuff, what they're having troubles with, and all that.
Yeah, cool.
So it was pretty good. Yeah, it was nice to kind of sit there. I mean, it's expensive for what you get, but it's a wedding.
And as you start planning, you'll see that, like you said, they're all about the same price range.
Yeah.
It's all the same kind of food, just worded differently. It just depends on what you like.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's hard to find, but once you tick that box,
that's
one less thing to worry about. So
you go through all the different pricing for different venues, and it's like you're coming down to $100, $200 in each one. So it's like, well, if the food's good, who cares? Just book them.
Yeah, that's right.
As long as they're good food and you're getting good value for the money.
Yeah.
It's very rare we're getting good value for money with weddings.
That's awesome.
But we're happy for the food, so it's going to be good.
Wicked. Alright, so I'll give you a rundown of the official stuff we're going to go through today. Okay, so the first thing we'll go through is the nomination of intent to marry, or NOM for short, like NOAM, you might have seen it as. And they're basically just something that we have to fill out, which is what it says. It's the intent that you guys have to marry, which we then tell certificate of birth and death registrations. They have that information.
Yep.
Doesn't actually get forwarded to them straight away, but we keep it on file, and I send it to them, and so they're, like I said, aware that you're getting married, and that way when we do the paperwork through, they've already got it on their records. We've signed on the date that you said you get married, and that coincides with the information that we provide on the paperwork. They see it all matches up, and then you're married, according to the Australian government. So, yeah, that's the kind of smile I'd like to see, the scary smile. Oh crap, I'm getting married. So, once we go through the nomination intent to marry, it's all very straightforward. It's only like one page worth of stuff. It's just basically getting your details. You need obviously proof of birth and something like that. So obviously a passport or birth certificate, which I'm sure you both can obtain or you already have access to, which is fantastic. The next thing is the declaration of no legal impediment to marry, which basically means that neither of you have been married before. And if you have, not a problem, but we need to know about it. Are you divorced? Were you married in the Philippines or a crazy night in Vegas one time and you're still married to that person? Yeah, you've been to Vegas, obviously.
Truth comes out.
Yeah, Vegas is always the one that you've got to be careful of. But once again, it's just so that, later on down the track that you're basically your marriage is still legal.
Okay.
So if something doesn't come up where someone in Vegas or wherever the country may or may not have happened, that you're still legally married to them somehow. So that all needs to be really, really clear. If it is the case with you guys, then we need to have that paperwork ready in place. If it's not, then everything else is smooth sailing. It's just another box to tick,
Smooth sailing.
I can remember.
Yeah, there you go, good. But once again, it's good that we're doing this early, so if something was to come up, like you said, not that you plan on that too, or he's been very honest with you, he looks like an honest man, that it's very just much the right names in the right boxes, ticking the right boxes, and everything's going to be really, really sweet. The next part is something I have to do as a legal obligation as your celebrant, also just as a duty of care, is give you a brochure, both of you, not just one of you, both of you have to read this thing, or at least I have to give you two with the intent that you're going to read it. Basically, it's called Happily Ever Before and After. So it just goes through things that maybe some things you might not have thought about. Now you're not married, and then when you are, how do things change? Like just living, which you're obviously living together now, which is great, so you have that experience already, but financially, bringing up kids, blended families, as I'm aware, none of you guys have kids in other families at all. And once again, not that we know of. This is my first time meeting you guys too, so I'm learning about you guys as well. But no, so once again, it's one of those things that some people just don't think about, those little things. You're so caught up in getting the venue sorted, getting the food sorted, getting the celebrant sorted. All those things can kind of overwhelm everything else, and then all of a sudden you're married and you're like, well, I didn't think about that, and like, oh crap, now, do we have a shared bank account, do we not? So all those kind of things, this is a very basic overview of things you can further look into, which then I've also got information for you to share that too. So I've researched, I've done this area before, and I've researched the area. There are local services, some paid, some free by the government as well, which you can go to for a bunch of different things, good and bad, whether it be financially, whether it be personally, whether it be together things. And it's really, once again, it's not saying that you've got a problem. It's definitely not meaning that there's something wrong with your relationship at all. It's just that you're aware that there's help out there, and everyone's going through it. It's not just you two thinking, oh crap, what's going to happen when we are actually married? There's people out there that are going through the same thing, and then the services out there to help you along. So it's definitely not a bad thing. A lot of my customers will come back and say, hey Shane, went to those guys up at the local YMCA or whatever, and it was great. There were other couples there as well, and we just had a good chat, and we saw and heard things that we didn't even think about. So it was really, really cool. So while this brochure with the before and after PDF is necessary, the other things are all optional, but I can provide them for you just to see what you want to do about them. Cool. So any questions about anything I've spoken about so far?
No.
Nothing seems out of the ordinary, nothing seems...
I wasn't aware that you had to do an intent to marry. I wasn't aware that was a thing.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not that it's an intent, it's just like, it's the process, so it's not just that you get married one day and then the government doesn't know about it. It's like I said, it's an intent to marry, so you let them know that we're obviously together, we've approached the celebrant, we're getting married on this date, and then from there, as far as birth and deaths are concerned, we are now officially a married couple for the Australian government.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I thought it was, I thought that you did all that paperwork after you were married. Like, you just submitted it all. So I wasn't aware that you had to do it. So thank you.
No worries. That's just what it looks like. I'll give you one you can fill out together, and I'll walk you through it as well. I've got my copy here. So basically this is what it says. So official certificate, of intent to marry. So at the top there, you'll see, here's my copy. Top's for me to fill out, so that's my information that we've got to put out there. And then you put in yours. So at the top there says name and address of the proposed celebrant, so that's for me to put in as well. Okay, and then the top part's just for me. And as I said, as you can see, it's just ticking boxes and filling out names, so nothing too crazy at all. The description of the party. Now that in Australia we can legally marry women and women and men, which is fantastic. So that's why it says groom, bride, and partner. Okay. So for you guys, if Chris would be the party one and you'll be party two, or vice versa, tick the boxes as necessary, I suppose. Whichever way you want to do it. And then, so obviously your current surname. So Sarah, you will do your maiden name, soon to be Power.
What's shorter last name than mine? Yeah, do you have to middle name?
Yep, middle name, because this was going to be on the deaths and birth and deaths, so we need to, as much as we can in there.
No, I'm not going to fit it.
That's
put it on the A or
You got to say about his eye. It's mine looking.
That's okay.
Oh, so there's an X, so you don't have to fill out if you.
Yeah, once again, they're catering for all of you now. So, usual occupation, so it's just your current job.
Financial it was, I suppose.
I guess it's kind of more married with any sort of things as far as the hotel is concerned. I don't think it's anything crucial, but it's just, I'd like to know that you are who you are as well. There's not a Chris Power, doing financial management here, and not the Chris Power with the same name doing something else somewhere
Usual
else.
place of residence, our full
So your
address.
current address, yeah, it's fine. Once again, living together already, which is good, and I assume that's going well. It's been a while.
Yes, it's going well.
How many of you guys been living here for then?
4 years. I think it's 4 years.
4 years, good.
So how was home?
Yeah, I saw the dog on the way in. Big boy.
He's only 3, I think. No, he's only 3, so it's been 3 years.
We got him when we first moved.
Oh, nice,
When we
okay.
first moved in.
Oh, I'm just going to leave it like that because we're in the same address.
Yeah, so conjugal status. So this is where it gets a bit more nitty gritty. So
Okay.
this is to confirm that you're both single.
Oh, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
both
so you
wrote
say-
that we're single, for
No, no,
example.
contractual status. So never validly. So never
Oh.
validly married is what you want to put down there. So widow, divorced, and then if that information then is one or the other, widowed or divorced, then we need to know those details. Well, the government needs to know those details. So once again, they all marry up.
Okay.
But since both of you, as far as we know, never validly married, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You should put the same there.
The rest of the paperwork is easy.
Maybe claim. But it's just
Oh.
something along those lines.
That's right. I can fill this out later if you make mistakes, or if we need to fit else stuff in. I'll put your address in both those boxes. That's not a problem
Okay.
at all. Okay.
Perfect.
But I'm basically witnessing it anyway, so I'm not going to change anything, and also I will once again review this with you before I send anything in anyhow.
Perfect.
Okay. Birthplace. So you're both in
Both
Australia, I assume.
Canberra, aren't you? You're born in Sutherland Hospital?
Yeah, so one hospital.
Yeah, it's Karen. They classify the birth.
Is it?
Karen. Well, it says it on your passport.
First of all, it says one hospital.
Yeah. So it's it is on hospital, but I've had this before. It's in the name of the area of the name, so it'd be the Sutherland Shire Hospital kind of thing. But
I think I put someone is
It says on your
basic
passport,
for my company.
Karen Brown.
okay. And then your date of birth of both of you. This is testing. Do you know who's off by heart?
81.
Probably should pass the other way around. Do you know hers? Is probably the more important one.
27
And what you?
88. Fish boat.
That's right. So same year as
Oh, that's
the
good
boat.
to
Glad you
remember.
remember that.
Same as the other important part of your life. That's good. So, Paddy's born outside of Australia, total period of residence in Australia. So, that's,
So we're
yeah, 0 because you went one outside Australia, which is fine. So, father's full name and mother's maiden name. So, if you know those still, that makes it a lot easier. If not, we can fill those in later.
yeah, your dad's middle name is.
I don't know if it's on all this stuff though.
What do we put your mum's name down as?
It's basically if it corresponds with the passport or birth certificate they have, then it'll be fine.
Maybe his birth certificate. I don't know if he's got or anything else.
Yeah. What did you do?
Thought the 80s then.
So I can read it.
Mother's maiden name, I'll have to
We'll have to confirm because she's.
I don't know how
Yep.
to spell it.
That's okay.
Square, but it's B-L.
But her full name is Ingeborg. And
I
her
think
middle
she's
name-
fixed to
Or
it.
just mother's maiden name in full. So not her full name.
Yeah, just their surnames is
Oh,
fine.
it's Blair. It's just
Yeah,
normally
but it's-
B-L-A-I.
No. B-L-E-I-E-R.
Oh, is it?
Or it's
Or whatever,
B-L-I-E.
Umla or something like
We'll
that.
get back
That's
to
okay.
you on
It's like I
that.
said, once again, we're still just going through the early stages now. I'm here, we're spoken about using media celebrants, so we can, come back to stuff again. I guess is also just so you can see what it's like, and we can fill as much as we can today, and then we can do the rest. Okay.
Father's country. of
Yeah,
birth?
so were they born in Australia, your parents?
Neither of mine.
No.
Neither of yours. Was your dad born in
That's
Australia?
what in Australia.
Get out, really? Ah,
There's not really Australians around anymore, everyone comes from somewhere else.
yeah.
Say passport for mum, because it's going to be different on a birth certificate.
Yeah. Well, her birth certificate, her passport has to be made off her birth
No.
certificate. Oh.
Because it's the translation, that's where that is.
Your father was Australian, so we can chuck that in there.
From
Mum's Austria.
Got a full mix there. South Africa, England, Austria.
yeah.
Good holiday spots if you wanted to go somewhere else to visit, that's good.
Yeah, well, we went to Austria a couple of years ago.
Oh, beautiful, how was that?
Mm.
Christmas time.
amazing. We did Christmas there. So.
Oh, awesome. And winter.
Yes, very very cold, but the Christmas markets was my favourite.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's so beautiful.
Any skiing? You guys skied at all at Austria there? Or?
We
The
got
snow
to,
wasn't a crash. Well, you can see the follows.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as we left, it was dumping.
Oh
So
god.
We had a little
we
bit.
found a all year round glacier. So we
Oh, fantastic. Cool.
went skiing on the glacier, which we probably could have done there at any time.
Got a
of the
little
year.
bit in. That's all right. Sight to see, that's for sure. Okay, so the next part's not really relevant to either of you because, as I said before, none of you have been married previously. So this party has been previously married, and there must be the following particulars. You guys have nothing to worry about, so I think that's fine. That's fine. The back part's pretty much it. You know, other parties related to each other. I mean, there are circumstances where family members have married cousins and whatnot before, which, you know, depending on how far it is down the line, it's perfectly fine to do that. But I'm guessing you guys aren't related to each other. No, so you can get circle no for that. Yeah, no worries at all. And just
How far down the line is it okay?
I've never done it yet, but I mean, it's normally if it's a stepfather's cousin or something like that, where it's still a cousin relationship as far as I guess legally is concerned. I've never done one yet.
But it's not blood. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a whole other paragraph in the.
Okay. And do you witness us?
Yep. So you guys sit and sign there, and I can witness that.
Your party one.
Once again, not signing life away yet. This is just the pre-step, so not
Fine,
submitted
fine.
yet.
I have to change my signature.
Okay, beautiful. I'll sign in front of you guys as well, just so you know that I'm getting this done. Okay, amazing. So yeah, so that's pretty straightforward.
Last bit, sorry.
Like I said, this is all by me. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
this is basically
Okay.
the parts that I make sure that I've actually seen. So stuff like the date you guys are having to be married, so I'll put down the date that we plan to.
Mhm.
Once again, so births and deaths know that that's the day that they expect this paperwork to be handed in.
Yep.
Okay, that I've actually cited your birth certificates as well, the registration of that, or the passport, whichever one you guys choose to present to me. Current driver's licenses, proof of age cards, things like that. It's all just the fact that you have them and I've witnessed them and go ahead. Once again, we can go through that stuff. We'll confirm your mum's details if we need to,
Yeah.
and then I can cite your details unless you have them today. We can do that now. Whatever. There's no sort of real push on it. Okay, it's just really the first baby steps
Okay.
as to getting married.
Ooh.
Aside from booking the venue and everything
Yeah.
like that, okay? So, now the certificate of marriage, which you spoke of before, nothing special, it just looks like just another piece of paper, okay? So, basically, from the details that you give me, I fill all this stuff out. So, it's basically all the same kind of stuff, description of the party, your names, place of residence. So, basically, this confirms everything that I've written here
Yeah.
and puts it into officially to make sure that I've got your address is correct and, you know, I can change it here as well, that everything is as what it is, based on the nomination of intent to marry as well.
Okay.
So, two different certificates, but they both say exactly the same stuff. Okay, once again, I'll show you that before I do it. I need to get the signatures on that anyway. Okay, and then also my signature at the bottom of that too. Okay, that's what it looks like. And then obviously, as I said to you on the phone, I also provide you with a fancy, I think this is to print out, but it will be A4 calligraphy style wedding certificate. You see it all the weddings. So
Okay.
when they sign those on the table, stuff like that, it's, you know, as your best man or whoever it is as a witness, that's on the pretty one, that's for you guys to have somewhere, whatever. But as far as birth and death are concerned, this is the one that they need to prove that you're officially married on that date and you are now married. And you've said I do.
Right.
You've kissed the bride. You've had the beers.
Oh.
And it's all downhill, but happily ever after and before after from there. Okay?
Do the witnesses also sign the official certificate of marriage?
Yeah, once again, that'll be on the date. So they'll sign this one for me, and then I'll also witness it with the date of the marriage on the bottom there. Not today's date, obviously. That'll all be on the day of the marriage. Then you will get also the calligraphy one as well, which they can sign if you want to make it look nice and it looks official as well. So we can do that. Once again, I'll organise that for you. I've got a couple of different layouts that you can choose from, which I'll send through to you as well, and you can choose which one you like to suit yourself, really. Okay.
We stand up in front of the classroom and we hold our certificate.
Yeah, a little bit different, but a lot more people watching, a bit more important.
A little bit.
Okay, so we've got the nomination of intent to marry, and we've done the official certificate of marriage. You guys happy with that so far? All seems pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Not too scary yet. You're still sitting here, which is great.
Yes.
You're still sitting here, which is great. You never know that the women can sometimes run too. They always say it's the men, but you know, women got to turn up last. The men's already standing there.
It's true.
That's
I
true.
think
So
it's,
you never know. Alright, so the next thing we've got to go through, like I said, is just this brochure that I have to give to both of you, which I will, so you can see that I've given it to the both of you. Okay, and like I said, so it explains a few different things there. So just marriage education, okay? So just because of like meeting challenges and changes of life and things to expect when you go through that kind of thing, okay? Family counselling wise, this is either preparation for family or for people who might already have a kid from another marriage, things like that as well. Once again, things to think about, okay? And then marriage breakdown, like family dispute and resolution. Unfortunately, things happen, okay? We don't think about this kind of things when we're having this kind of conversation because there's nothing, you're not married yet. But I mean, realistically, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it can work out, and there are avenues to make sure that you can make it work. Okay, there's an old saying that back in the day they used to fix things rather than throw them away. Seems to be this day and age, everyone's quite happy just to, one thing goes wrong and they want to just get rid of it kind of thing. But I think with a marriage, and as you know, and I'm sure you guys take a lot of care and consideration into asking you to marry you for starters, and then you saying yes in return. That this is going to be a lifetime long thing. Okay, but there's always a way to try and help you guys out should there be any problems down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not admitting defeat, it's nothing bad, it happens to everybody, especially in this day and age where everyone's got high pressure jobs, you guys living in Sydney, there's a lot of other things going on in your life, so you guys got to look out for each other and just really, if something comes up, deal with it rather than sort of hide it away. Okay, so like I said, it's a very, very basic overview of stuff that can happen before and after your marriage. Okay. The next page basically goes through stuff that I've already gone through, so getting married in Australia, some of the steps that need to be taken. First step is nomination of intent to marry, which we've done, okay? And then you go down the thing from there, okay? And then marriage in Australia, some important things that you need to know. Health and welfare benefits, changing your name, what happened with that, okay? Citizenship, if it was, not in your case because obviously you're both from Australia, but that's in there as well. Thinking about your will, changing or making one, if you haven't started one, perhaps that's something you think about now because you are married, okay? And it's occasion after marriage, but being a financial advisor, I'm sure he's up to any benefits or cons there are with getting married, so you guys are all up to speed with that kind of stuff to an extent as well. But once again, all these things are things that you can speak about with somebody else or get advice on. And once again, while it's not my responsibility nor am I educated in these fields, I'm more than happy to provide you information about these things if you should ever have any questions, whether it be before or even after the marriage. Once you guys say, I don't like it and never see you again, if something comes up, you got my number, I'm more than happy for you to give me a call, and couples have in the past as well. Not a big deal.
Thank you.
Okay. And so, should those things come up, okay, there are some, or even before the marriage, okay, there are some local ones around here that I've dealt with in the past that are very, very good for things like this. So there's one called Heartlinks, which is based in Caringbah, okay, and they provide a range of different services, such as successful step parenting, blended families, even just better relationships workshops and couples counselling. So that's, like I said, for not your situation, for the blended families kind of thing, but just couples counselling. It's not saying something wrong, but just wanting to speak to somebody and hearing other people's sort of points of view on what's going on, it can all just be a little bit of an enlightenment kind of session for you. Okay, that one comes at a fee though. That one's done by, like I said, Heartlinks. So there is a fee with that one. It can range between $200 to $300 per couple kind of thing. But there are options. There are free options as well. So there's one called Associated Relationships and Marriage Counsellors, which is also based in Caringbah as well. Okay, and they do such things as dealing with pre-marriage issues, things like your wedding plans, the stress that can happen with that, financial management of that. Okay, relationship enrichment and smooth life transition, obviously going from just being a couple to being married. So as you said before, like many things to think about, I'm sure, with getting a wedding organised. So these guys will kind of just go, you know what, have you done this? Have you done that? And also just talk to you about those kind of things that, stress-related things that might come from those circumstances. Okay, so once again, that one's free. They do it in singular pairs, or also do it in groups and stuff like that too. So once again, it's just one of those things that if you felt a little bit of pressure, just head up there and just, I mean, you can walk out once you're done, or even if you're halfway through, you go, you know what, I think we're doing pretty well. Maybe I just had a bad day, which is normal as well. So yeah, but they're there as well. And the last one is Anglicare, which is also once again government funded to a certain extent. But the basic one they do sort of cover is pre-education, marriage education, and that improved communication, relationship enrichment, and smooth life transitions again. So once again, it's more just stuff that maybe you guys just need to have a chat to each other outside of home and work and weddings, and that kind of just sort of will, sort of break down what's going on, see where the stress is, or even nothing to do with the wedding. It might just be personal stuff. It doesn't always have to do with negative stuff. It can just be like, we just need to have a chat to somebody and feel like we're so overwhelmed right now about certain things, and what can we do about that?
Okay.
Okay, so once again, I can leave those with you as well. I'll email you all those details too.
Yep.
Once again, while I do encourage you to perhaps look at maybe at least one of these, just for the fact that to see what it's like, and once again meet other couples like you did at your testing for your food, and just get different perspectives. Like everyone's going through some sort of stress at some point in their life, even regardless if they're planning a wedding, you know. And once again, I know it's October, but you plan as much as you can, but it is really, really stressful. I try and obviously give you some tools to manage that stress, and I'm here for you for more than just the like just more than marrying you. Like I said, I've done this a while now, and there are a lot of things that I know about the industry and about couples in general. So if there is any other questions you have about any of those kind of things, just call me, email me, whatever, let me know, you know. Very, very easy for me to give you some details on that. Okay.
But the only question I have is how long would a ceremony normally take? Like, especially with just like to kind of do the bare minimum legal stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I spoke to you on the phone, the wedding you went to your friends that I did recently. I think you said you're happy with that kind of timeline.
Yeah.
And that was basically the bare minimum plus a little bit. They wanted to have somebody stand up and say a little poem from her side of the family, which you saw. But basically, there are the very short legal part, which I have to go through officially to marry you guys. But either side of that is really up to you guys. Your vows can be as long as short they want to be. Yours can be long, his can be short. You might not even want to have, or vice versa. You might not even want to have, want to see each other's vows. You might want to do separately, which is fine as well.
Yeah.
Most people these days are in the same boat you are. They want to kind of get the nitty-gritty stuff out of the way and really enjoy what you paid for, which is really the wedding. You know, all the food, all the drinks, and everything else, the dancing to go along with it. So I really appreciate that. I'm happy to be there for as long or little as you want me to be. Okay, but realistically, most people aim for about a 20 to 25 minute sort of ceremony. By the time you actually walk down the aisle, you're given away, I start the ceremony, get a few laughs, then we go through any pre-ceremony stuff that you guys wanted to add in, whether it be a song or a poem or a reading from somebody in the family, either side, maybe a mother or cousin or something like that, or sister. But we can do that before, then we do the nitty-gritty stuff, and then finish with something very similar, whether it be a song or another poem or a reading of some sort. So realistically, you can knock those over in that 20 to 25 minute sort of area. And then half an hour, you're kissing and getting married, and then we do the paperwork, you sit down, and I guess most people you go for your photos, and then you can get going. So long and short as you want it to be, but we can cater for that as we go along as well. Once again, I'll send you a lot of information. There's the different ways I've done ceremonies in the past that we can kind of see. If you like the way that, I think, what was the name again? Kimberly did her wedding that you went to. If you're happy with that kind of layout, I'll just send you that one. And you can fill in the blanks and see if that's what you guys want. Okay. But we've got a lot of time still. So it's next October, so if we can do some more planning, like I said, I'm happy to help you with that in any way at all. The fee that we spoke about is just that for everything, whether it be 10 phone calls or 50 phone calls or 50 emails or 10 emails.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I won't say I've had it worse. We don't know yet, so I'll have to wait and see. But no, I think that's fair. Like, I mean, we're not just a wham bam, one little wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of celebrity. I'd rather that you guys get the best out of the day because it is your day. Okay, and you're happy for the whole time that I'm there. And the rest is up to you guys how well you cater for it. But I want to make sure that you guys have the perfect ceremony because that's really the important thing and the part that everybody kind of sees and the part that you guys are most nervous for as well. So if one of you don't like speaking more than the other, we can cater for that within the speech. Vows don't have to be 10 minutes long. They can be 2 or 3 minutes. You can say what you really feel, what you really want in that 3 minutes and really knock it out of the park.
I think that's more what we're going for. Is kind of short and sweet. Short and sweet.
And that's fine. And like I can even give you some sort of things that I've used in the past where it's hard to find the words in that really short sort of paragraph or two, but when you see a couple of other examples, you can nitpick from that and you can kind of say, that's how I feel about the person, or I haven't thought about saying it like that, So it's from the heart, but it's also, like you said, short and sweet and mean what you want to say and get out of there. Kiss her and get on with it.
Pretty much. Being the centre stage. It'd be a bit awkward for both of us.
That's all right. I'm sure you guys will do great.
Maybe we can even say, we might even send you separately what kind of vows we're thinking of putting together. Yeah,
sure. And I'll say I won't show either or, and if you want a bit of feedback, more than happy to give a bit of feedback. Like I said, seen a few of these and done a few, so I'm more than happy to help you out with that.
Excellent.
But aside from the other sort of stuff, like the paperwork, you guys happy with everything we've gone through tonight? And sounds all good.
No, it sounds good.
All right, so I don't like to push for the payment or push for whether you want to go with me or not in this kind of interview. I think you guys need time to step away and go, yep, I really love having that chat with Shane and the paperwork you're happy with. And this is just, like I said, the very first basic steps. Okay? If you guys decide you want to go ahead with me, fantastic. I've met you guys now, and I think it's fantastic that what you guys are going to be doing, and I'll be more than happy to be your celebrant. Okay, and then we take your financials from there. Okay, I take a deposit, and then from that deposit, it basically covers us up to the day of the wedding. Okay, that deposit is really to say that you've booked me for that day, and then in 6 months' time, if you say, well, look, either we've changed the day or something like that, then I'm pretty hard pressed to try and fill that date because it's so close. So that's really the only thing that's non-refundable is that initial deposit, because I've allocated that day for you, and for me to get another day allocated is pretty slim and none at that time of the year. Okay, so other than that, the fee is the one flat fee. It covers everything. I think I'm pretty competitive, and everyone in the industry kind of stays around that kind of price range, so no one's kind of beating each other up. It's just whether you feel comfortable with the person or not, and if you're happy, then great. If you're not, there's plenty of us out there. I'm more happy to recommend others as well. I mean, like, I'm not for everybody. I've got some female celebrants that maybe might be better for you, and other male guys. Not offended at all, but if you choose to go ahead with me, then fantastic. All right?
I think we're pretty happy.
Yeah, awesome. Well, like I said, don't like to push. Have a chat. When I'm not here, obviously, it makes it a bit easier, and then we can go from there. But have a good read through that. Really, like, it is important. It's a very, like I said, basic overview, but it is really important to maybe, like I said, think about at least one of those counselling things. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. Pick the one that sounds the friendliest, I guess, or the ones that you can relate to the most, and then you might get something out of it. You might not, but at least you know. Yeah. Then you can move forward.
Very true.
All right.
All right.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Well, lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you too. Any questions at all? Like I said, don't hesitate to call.
Yeah, and we'll get that stuff to